Yo, what's good, YouTube? We back with another video, and today it's the same thing. Today's Monday the 22nd, and yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. So today we're hopping on Forex Factory. Like always, we check our news. Today we don't got news, but tomorrow we do. That's how you just check, like, okay, word, I seen it right, yeah. So today, no news. Boom, hop back to the charts, and you do the same thing. It's nothing changes. Nothing will change. So right now, this high has been taken over here. So we'll put SMT as of now. We'll put SMT as of now. And sorry, a little sick, but fuck it, we here. So boom, external buy side taken, external buy side yet to be taken inside of 4 hour bearish gap with a bearish SMT. That to me shows a lot of signs that we're bearish today. Okay, so how do I go about being bearish though? Like, okay, what does bearish mean, Dustin? Like, what do I even do if we're bearish? Okay, I'm gonna explain. You have to look for internal models. This is the higher time frame. Look, the highest. This is one of the highest time frames I look at every day. 4 hour, sometimes the daily, just to see if we're in a daily gap. But even then, I don't really always check the daily. Like I use what I'm comfortable with. So now, I jump down to lower time frames like the 1 hour to see if we have more gaps to hold price and send it lower. Like I'm not looking to see the market come all the way back down here. That's not impossible, but it's it's irrelevant to what it really will do. So this little gap though, that catches my eye. Does price want to come back into this gap? And what does that mean by price coming back? Well, a new candle will open up and essentially just start tanking down. It'll start selling down, and I will sell as it's going down. But I have to find a reason to. So again, um, prices in a 4 hour bearish fair value gap. You got to look up these details if you really want to know. Okay, word. That right here it's outside of the gap, but we didn't fully close, and we're not gonna. This candle's not gonna close until 10 a.m. So I'm gonna still draw it out just to have it there and just know it's there. But we have another 4 hour fair value gap right above us, so just know it's heading towards one. It's inside of one, but we have a bearish SMT sending price lower. External right here has been swept. External hasn't been swept on ES. So it's just important to know that. Well, okay, that's a divergence, meaning that will always send price into a direction if the SMT is relevant. So yeah, I'm gonna keep charting. I'm gonna chart my screen. All right, so pretty much done charting here. I'm going. I'm gonna be extremely patient today. I'm gonna show you guys what it's like to trade, no trade, lose trades. Like this is all clear and uncut. It's just showing you guys my journey. Um, Pretty much just how you day trade. You know, I don't really need to show profits because I've been doing this shit for a while. I know what it's like to lose, win, blow accounts, everything. So, um, let's just hop right into like what I'm seeing right now. We got on the 15 minute, hop on the 15 minute here. We got a 1 hour resting inside here. We got generated sell side. So we got lows here, lows there, and then we got this wide open gap. This gap is where my eyes really light up because price has to come back inside of this gap and essentially fill it because price has to rebalance. So if price has to rebalance, you got more sell side, wide open gap right there. You know, SMT sending price lower. So I mean, this is how it works. But it's a Monday, no news, and that really means like the market might not be moving to its best ability only because it's Monday, and that's just what it is. Another thing to recognize was today is the 22nd. We're really close to the holidays, so not everyone's really, excuse me, not everyone's putting their money in or taking their money out to like, buy and sell this market as volatile as they normally do. But come January, come February, the the really high volatile months, then you'll see. You just gotta really hop on this shit every day to really catch that and learn that. So right now, you know, my bias from bearish is it's kind of flipped into like it's even. It's even. Like, I'd want to see this buy side level get taken. And could I trade to that buy side level? Yeah, I could. But then like this buy side level is that buy side level on ES. So, you know, we're kind of in a bind right now where I just jump to the 1 minute and I really just let price action tell me what's going on here. Like what are we really doing? And should I just hop off this shit or should I just stay on? That's what I do at one point because you could only chart so much before you just got fucking lines across your screen everywhere you're looking, and now you're gonna confuse yourself. That's what this shit's for, is to confuse yourself. At one point, bro, like there's some people that could just trade their chart like this and just be like, all right, let's see what the 1 hour looks like, see what the 4 hour looks like. Okay, oh, boom, like I'm gonna buy right here. Like there's some people that do that shit, and they can win. But like obviously I follow a system. I follow like a real routine that y'all can see every day. That like I come in, jump on Forex Factory. We got news. We got this. Like I like to really see what are we doing. So I got the 9:30 mark like marked out. I always put a vertical line. All this stuff is here. All these are called your tools. So like all this is what I use to really see what the market's gonna do. And yeah. So we still got this SMT intact, and what I'm really looking for is my model, like right here at the open. Do we want to rip higher, or because if we rip higher, we take out this buy side level, no more SMT. That's simple. Or jump to a 2 minute, and do we get through these 2 minutes right here? Because if we get through these 2 minute fair value gaps right here with the SMT inside of a 4 hour bearish fair value gap, that really gonna show me a sign of a rebalance a little bit to where I could just trade that. Not like saying I will, because I got to see how do we change in the state, meaning how fast do we get below this level? Because we got gap right there, but how fast do we get below it, and do we want to get through this gap? You got to see what's really gonna hold price to like okay, where it might get a little below this level, but it might tap in here, take that tiny low, and then boom, run to this 4 hour. Putting the SMT bullish to send it higher. Like you just never know what it really wants to do, and you just have to react. You can't guess this shit. You have to react to what it's doing, and you have to be a quick reactor. So, you know, like this shit really isn't. It's not easy. As easy as it may look when I show a trade or do a recap or whatever, bro. This shit's not easy. Like this shit takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, a lot of dedication. Like you're gonna get fucking clapped, bro, by this market. This shit will steal your bread. And it's not like I'm using real money for this shit. There's ways like I'm on a prop firm. So, like that's how I could you know, get paid or whatever, go from there. But okay, word. So now we got another SMT at these highs right here. And then this high right there on this chart did not go higher than that. So we got an SMT and then we have an internal SMT. And I want to see if we want to get through this gap. If we get through this 2 minute gap, see, like this is what I like. We get through this 2 minute gap with the 9:30 open, I will like that. But if we just want to fill, then we just want to fill. So I'm gonna watch it on the 2 minute chart because it's very, very clear on the 2 minute chart. Market's gonna open in another 2 minutes. So whether we want to still hold that SMT, yeah, I'm about to sneeze. Feeling a little sick. See, boom, we fill. We fill this 2 minute gap. Did we get through it? No, we are going higher now. So like we didn't change delivery. Changing the state of delivery. That's all it means. So like delivery, like all this shit looks confusing, but it's not. But you have to also understand the context and where the context actually matters. So like from all the way down here, all the way down here. We've been just going up higher, even though it comes down a little bit. Comes down, we're still going higher until we actually put a change in the state with the SMT inside of a gap. That's when it really, that's the context of, oh, maybe I can market sell, excuse me. Until then, bro, that shit don't matter. Nothing else matters. That's why I just talk, because you know that's really what it is. So now, if we like buy back up, still hold that SMT, even lower time frame, like the 1 minute, like we still hold this tiny SMT, then, and we create a gap on this one, excuse me, then I would like that, because we're trying to create a gap to then run it all over again. Like, essentially just buy back up, put in this gap to then change here. And then the market's gonna do that. Why? Because it's trying to get everybody out before the move. That's all they're doing. So we still got that SMT, and I'm gonna jump on the 30 seconds, see what it does here. Move it here, move that there, because this is important. 9:30 opens. Do we change? Do we change? I'm liking that. Market sell. Or I'm gonna
Order
sell it from here.
filled.
Stop loss is gonna go there, and I'm gonna jump on the 2 minute, because now we should run this 2 minute. Look how deep we got on ES. I wouldn't want to see us come higher. I want to see us run that, and I entered premature. So if I were to lose 100 here, I were to lose 100 here. We tap into this. We took out that low, and boom. Word. See what it does on the 15-second. We filled. I'm not putting my stop loss in a random spot either. So now I want to see us get lower. Now I want to see if a bullish SMT gets put in here. Do we take these lows? Yes. Do we take that low? Yes. Now I want to see this 30-second change. We 30-second change, then I have a lot more confidence in we 30-second change. Look, we got below that level. A lot more confidence in this trade to just sit here, wait. I want to see a 1 minute change. Boom, we pull back to it. Got an inverse right there. Did we 2 minute? No, we didn't change in the state on the 2 minute. We filled it, swept that low. I just want to see what we do here, because I like it. I'm confident. I like this trade. Like, if I were to lose 100 here, get stopped, that's not really my biggest worry. Look what
Order
ES will do.
filled.
So boom, we come, we fill that, and jump to the 2 minute. Did exactly what I said. We didn't change. We filled in this 2 minute, and now we're going higher. So boom, erase that SMT. That SMT is just done. This one's still holding though. This higher time frame one is still holding. Mind you, it's going to do shit like that. It's going at the open. It's going to show you something quick, what you want to see, and boom, it's going to just straight up invalidate that. That whole idea, and it's gonna fuck. It's gonna, well, if you're new, it's gonna fuck your mind up. But boom, come into the day, have exactly what I'm looking for, and now I just wait, because what happened right there is exactly what I still want to see. I just want to see if they do it later now. At a different time. So we got there. Jump to the 30-second on ES, and look, create these gaps. So now if we displace through these gaps, both of this one right here too, and we change here, that's another confident, way to get inside of this trade again. So I want to see if we change in the state. We have an SMT. We're inside of this 4 hour, and looks like we are. So look, I'm gonna sell
Order
two, right?
filled.
Sell a little bit less now. So now I'm risking 100 at this SMT. And if we change confidently, I want to see a change on the 2 minute, or the 3, or the 5. So out of all of these, I want to see a confident change. And it looks like we're going to get a confident change. I want to see in 5 minutes, so around 2 more minutes at 9:35, if this candle closes between this line. And I would want to just see that only. And I would target sell side. So I'll be targeting down here. or I'll be targeting external. So it's one or the other, and it doesn't matter. To me, I take what I'm given, and I'm confident in what the market gives me. So from here, I'm targeting the same exact spot, but it's the same thing on ES, but it's just different charts. So I want to see what we're doing here. And it looks like we're digging inside of this 1 hour right here. Yes, I'd want to see us get through this 1 hour because I'd want to see market rebalance price action and fill in, what is it? That gap right there. But I'm targeting a level a little bit above this gap. So what do? I watch and I sit here. And there's no need to do anything else. There's no need to do anything else besides just once you see what you see, you trade it and you just let your hands go. You just let them go. You cannot control anything. Nothing happens that is in my control in this market. I don't know if I'm even going to win here. Does it look like it? Yeah. But do I know? No, you don't know anything. So we got through this 1 hour, right? So now 15 seconds. I want to see what we do here. Jump to the 30-second, and I'll move my stop loss here to lose $85. Tighten it up a little bit. This gap should hold. Maybe come back up in here. We displaced a lot. So jump to the 15-minute. Jump to the 15-minute. Let's see what levels we didn't take out. Okay, word. Well, we took out that. We have an SMT. Okay. Is that SMT maybe the rebalance price? In my eyes, yes. I want to see us hold here or come back up in there, hold. And so what I'll do here is, look, I'll go break even. I'll just about break even. So I got a $17 stop loss. If I lose this trade, I'm done for the day. And I lost about 100 and maybe, let's say, $115 to make 413. Obviously, I took a short loss in the morning, but I took a loss on what I still wanted to see. Look, I shorted right there. When we came back up, SMT was still validated. And what happened? I traded it again. But I traded it with lower size this time because why? That's my rules. My rules are, well, if I take a loss, I'm not gonna go back in with the same exact size and like, fuck my head up because say you lose that again, you're gonna be a little nervous, like, oh well, I can't trade it anymore. I don't know what's going on, and this is happening and that's happening. And these are real actual thoughts that traders go through. So you gotta like just one, know yourself. Two, not know what you're doing because you're gonna eventually know what you're doing at one point. So I want to see ES get inside this 1 hour just a little bit. We haven't even came inside this 1 hour on ES, so you just gotta wait. A lot of it's a waiting game. We only 6 minutes into the open. Tap into this 30-second. See what we do from here. Tap into there. 15-second. 15-second. I wouldn't want to see us get above this, so I'll put my stop loss here. $75 in profit. I'd want to see us fill and then obviously fall back down a little bit more. If we change in the state to go back up, then that means this trade's probably going to be invalidated somewhere down here because we took out levels. So like I caught a lot of the move already. And that's not like my biggest thing. My thing is capitalizing on where I can capitalize and just going from there. So now I don't want to see these gaps bullish hold. If they hold, that probably means the trade's invalid and that's it. But if they don't hold and we just get through, then that's what we do. So now looks like we're leaking out, and look, can move it down just a tiny bit, move take profit down just a tiny bit, and we'll hold. So like I'm gonna move my stop loss, break even, move take profit down just a little bit more, take what we're given. We have external down here. We got our external targets down here. Our sell side resting right there. Just go on every time frame just to see what it's really doing. We tap inside this 15-second bearish. This is where I'm gonna be not quick to close, but I'm gonna be quick to react to what's really going on here. Because you want to look at the 15-second on ES as well. We didn't even tap into this 1 hour. And if I expect a little bit of a rebalance, then I expect both charts to get not equally as low, but into a relative spot. So like this was the 1 hour here, but this is it on ES. So my opinion, is there still room to go lower? A little bit. We haven't swept out sell side. Have we swept it on ES? No. So I'm break even. I won't lose any money on the trade. And from here I'll watch. So I don't really gotta do too much more explaining. If we come all the way back up, then that's what happens. You know? That's just it. So in at around 9:45, I'd want to see a close black candle through this, and that will be a change in the state on a higher time frame, like the 15-minute. These changes in the states can happen on any time frame. So it's the context that you use. And at 10 o'clock, if we change in the state on this 30-minute time frame, that's what it will look like, a solid black candle coming through it. At 10 o'clock though, you got to line up the minutes of the time frame with the time. So it's time and price. Where are we at the time? What is price doing at the time? I wish I could show you guys like my whiteboard of like what I draw, my notebook of how I go about it, but those are things that you guys have to, do, or if you guys want to learn, you have to do that if you want to learn. So now just looking, just checking out what are we doing, and yeah, we got SMTs just in this market right now, and they are here. They're present. So from here, like I said, I'm just gonna watch. I'm not in any rush. We got no 2 minute. We have a big 3 minute fair value gap. So we might tap into it, pull back up to a change. Look at that. 5 minute change right there. We haven't tapped into anything here. It's all just look, notice how price is delivering in my favor. I've been sitting around this profit around a little bit. So is price delivering in my favor? It is. It's still bearish. It's still selling off. So I still have that bearish, you know, feel, bearish aggressiveness that okay, word, I can hold here. Like I could see this coming down to this external level. Well, and if it comes and takes this level, it's still kind of, I'll close. This was my level at first, but I'm noticing, okay, well, I like where we're at. I like how price is moving into my favor. And from there, I just hold, like I said, price delivered on a Monday with no news in favor of how I wanted it to. I didn't just say, oh, it's going to do this and do that. No, I'm just like, well, if it does this, then I will go short. And I went short or right around there. That's what my fill is here. And the market's selling off all the way. So as it sells and as it gets lower, I will be making profit because I sold up there. I didn't guess. I followed rules that allowed me to get into a trade like that. So that's it. And from there, that's it. So we're inside of this, you know. Stop loss can always, bro, if you're not confident in what you're doing, you can always move your trade and your stop loss there. But like again, I'm break even. I'm accepting that $97 loss on the day, no matter what. I want to see what we do in these next, 15, 30 minutes. We got a macro, meaning 950. It's 1010. That's a 20-minute window of what the market will do. It'll speed up price action. So maybe even speed it up in favor, take out sell side in favor, maybe even rip back all the way up in favor. Just don't know. But again, these are things that, these happen every single day in the market. I don't mark these out for the whatever people want to call it. It's not the guru drawing. I don't do this shit for the drawing of like, oh, well, this is you just marks out a bunch of lines and guess it. Nah, this is all details. And if you follow the same details, why can't you do it? Why can't you, like get into like a trade? Why can't you accept to lose $97, to make that? Why can't you? And it's not cocky. It's not, oh, he's fucking, nothing. It's nothing like that. It's just why can't you? You know, I post these videos for people to like actually genuinely like learn, genuinely like get the understanding like, oh shit, like you don't have to do none of that shit. You don't have to do none of that. Like everyone thinks you have to do, and people tell you to do this and do that. Like, you don't. So again, we filled in that 1 hour on ES. I like where we're at still. SMT bearish clearly was relevant to the trade idea. Still got generated sell side on ES. I still think price can go lower. So in 15 minutes, again, I still want to see if we want to, and these in this next minute, by 9:45, I want to see a candle closure black solid through this change in the state, because that will validate that change in the state, and that will validate this change in the state. So about 30 seconds, and mind you, we're right at sell side. So we got this bullish gap that we're holding still, but again, this is my draw, but I'm targeting a little bit above my draw. Why? Because I don't want to target exactly where I think it's gonna go. That's hindsight. And then if you lose and the market does so many other things, you'll be upset. But you target areas. So it's gonna be a longer video today. It's gonna be definitely a longer video today. So did we close? We did. And look how we pull back up to it. We close below, we pull back up to it, and from there, you want to see some sort of displacement, meaning we get even lower. So I'd want to see us play around here. It's okay if we play around here. We got the macro, and this is me like working on my own trades. I'm working on my own stuff while I also talk about it, because once you know how the market moves and you understand it has a divine order on how it's going to move, then all else is just noise. Like you can't get overhype about a win. You can't get like stressed if you see it not going into your favor. You just gotta just do. You just gotta let it like do. Because if you don't let it do anything, then how do you profit? Like how do you even lose? You won't even know how to lose. And that was my biggest problems in this shit. Just not really knowing how to lose. So right here is just a waiting game. Let's see the 15-minute on ES. Candle closure. Pull back up to it. I like it. And since I like it, I'll hold it confidently. And all else is noise, like always. So 5 minute in favor. Jump back to the 1 minute. And again, I want to see if we want to get down here on ES, just sell side level. So jump back to the 1 minute. 3 minutes from entering into the macro. We got a large 5 minute fair value gap right here. Change in the state. We got 15-minute change in the state. 15-minute change in the state, which is a 30-minute. So by 10 o'clock, I'd like to see if we get a candle closure below this blue line. But notice price is still delivering in my favor. It's just selling back off. It's playing around here. So you also have rules for yourself. Oh, all right, well, if it's just gonna chop, it's gonna play around, then can't you just close and just walk away? Yeah, like you gotta have a lot of rules set for yourself, and where do you get nervous though? So we got that high here. Right here, I'm just looking for some form of SMT to get put in. So if we take this high on either or of the charts, then if we don't on one, then SMT will be valid, which is an add. You can add to your position if you want, if you'd like, because the draw is still lower. Like, if you understand how it's moving, the draw is still lower. We'd have to rip through all of this, all of it, to then be bullish. Anything else is just a rebalance inside of price. And once you know that, then you can hold confidently and not be so worried all the time. And again, if you were to lose, then it's like, okay, well, that happened, then you know, kind of just you just go from there. So working on something this morning is just teaching me something, teaching me how to be patient with my own trades and not force anything. So I'm gonna jump to the 1 minute on this chart. And you go here, put the SMT here, the SMT. One of the charts took out the high. One of the charts did not take out the high. Jump to a 30-second. Jump to a 30-second. 1 minute fair value gap got created. So just want to see what it does here. In the macro now. So it's 950. Remember, it can speed up price into any direction. It can speed up price to here. And it's over the course of these 20 minutes. So it's inside of this. What happens inside of this? So we filled this 30-minute. It's small. I'm going to remove this just so you can see. We filled this 30-minute. Very small. And that right there alone, excuse me, that can hold, you can see it here. That can hold price into direction. If it's bullish, it'll hold price to go higher. If it's bearish, it'll hold price to go lower. But if we're bearish, we'd want to just see on that we just get through it. We just, we blitz through that shit. That's how I like to say it. We just blitz it. Like, we don't care about it. So now we created a tiny 2-minute. And this is essentially where you'd like to see your trade form. SMT took out a high. You'd want to see us get through this 2-minute. If we don't, then it's not hopes of like the trade's done. No, I can't really ever look at it like that. We'll pull back to this 15-minute, changing the state, which is super clean. And from here is where I'd like a lot of, I'd like to see a lot of that happen. So here, go back to this 15-minute. We're inside of this gap that we blitzed. So now, this is where I want to see a lot of this happen again. I'm risking $0 on this trade. We're back at that change in the state. Took out this internal high. Possibly pull here to that 15-minute. So again, a lot of things are possible to happen. Like I said, I just target these areas. Again, excuse me. My sell side level is here. Did it get hit? No. So $85, $90, And I'm targeting this. It's 4 hour that we're back in because it rests right at external sell side. So yeah, we're just gonna watch. We're patient. Mind you, this is an ad right here. This is a confident ad to pull back to this change in the state. You can add. You can add more. So I could throw on more contracts to my trade. But I'm not going to. Only for the fact that I don't like an ad if we don't change again. So if we change in the state again, then that's a confident ad in my opinion. I like everything to make a lot of sense while I'm trading. I don't like that shit to not make sense. So we come back through this gap, change here, meaning we'll get through that 30-minute again, and we change the state of delivery. The delivery has been bullish. It's been bullish. So we re-changed back down to the downside inside the macro with time to actually take us lower. Then I'm actually confident to add. Then I might add, two more. And now that number down there changes a little bit. But does that number, yeah, your stop loss changes now. So, and like, do you want to do that on a Monday with no news and it's not as quick? Maybe if this is a Tuesday, and then rebalance. But it's Monday, no news. I'm not saying that that's the reason why this trade has not worked out or played out. No, it's just more price isn't as volatile. So like you're gonna get that move from 9:30 and then boom after look. So you got these things like the macro to speed price up, but then from there, you know, not much could happen. So again, just watching, just seeing how we play out in this area. And if we want to take this high, this is the high that, this is where I want to see that SMT hold. But again, if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And that's where, boom, invalid, invalid. And look, you might see price right back up. Because look, it's all invalid now. It was valid until it wasn't, and that's how this shit works. It's valid until it's not. So jump to a 30-second here, and we'll probably end up filling this gap that we came through, pulling back, and then stopping my shit out in profit. So
Order
close,
filled.
close early, not to save myself, but to just close early. I already know it's gonna stop me out in profit or stop me out at break even, and from there, that's the trade. So it's not like, oh, you missed out on, oh, no, you didn't miss out on nothing. You just follow your rules. You let the market tell you. And from there, that's it. So we got probably once we come back here. What is that on the 30-second? Look at that. Come back to that. So if we change here, re-enter, or you don't, just you gotta find what you're comfortable with. So the 2 is where price normally likes to go. I'm just drawing this out because I know what I'm doing, but I'm finding trades and showing y'all pretty much how and why. So again, $60 compared to like, nice ass winning days are good. It's a Monday. I like to preserve capital. This game is about preserving capital. So not about always making money. Every single time you get into a trade, I hit market sell, risking. So that means there's money on the line. And money on the line means you could always lose. And I'm not a gambler. This is not gambling. I do not gamble. I take very, very accurate risks, in the market. So I do not gamble. I cut that shit out a long time ago. A little bit ago, I should say. So look, we changing the state again here. I'm confident. And I have to have reason why I'm confident to even trade this again. But I want to see us displace through that line, which is the same thing on ES. Look at that. It's the same line, same spot. What do we have? 3 minutes until that 30-minute. But we did respect it, right? Yep. So it just has to have reason. And if it just doesn't do what I had planned and set out, and you don't capitalize, then or you don't capitalize. Let's see how many points I'm off of it. I'm 10 points off of my first take profit. Could I have just closed and called it there? Yeah. But I wanted to see lower. I was confident in lower on these charts. But like, does that mean there wasn't a SMT that got put in? Well, there was. Look, we swept out this level, and we did not on ES. So that means we put in a bullish SMT. Which did I know that? Yes. And does that mean like that bullish SMT always means it's not like that bullish SMT is like always gonna fear me away from where I think the market's gonna go. It's sometimes that SMT does this to rebalance price all over again, and then boom, stop everybody out of their trade, and then just go from there. But now I want to see what this 15-second looks like. If I see something confident again, just shuffling through the time frames just to see, like, and mind you, if you're ever iffy, just don't trade it. So this 5 minute, we pull back up to it. It's not too bad of a trade. We pulled back up. Don't have to officially tap the line. I'm gonna remove these just to see this clear. We don't actually have to tap the line for it to be a retrace, but we take this internal high, tap the change in the state. SMT is still valid. This higher time frame SMT is still bearish, and that's why I'm still confident in lower. But again, in my eyes, it looks like I'm gonna give this shit one more stab if it's present. If not, I'm just gonna hop off, edit the video, and just show y'all like, yo, like how I lost $120. Like I'm not afraid to show like a loss, and it's a beautiful thing to show like, oh shit, you only lost $120. Like I think that's better to show like how do you lose so small, you know? And yeah, so 10 a.m. This is gonna be really the draw if we want to go lower, higher. We don't get that 30-minute change in the state though. So what does that mean? We respect. And yeah, like obviously I'm sticking around just to see what the market's trying to provide. All these equal highs, we're gonna sweep that. We're gonna have to get higher than that. We're just going to have to. I don't like that. If I wouldn't even trade, lower without that getting taken. That's ugly. But that is an SMT. See what we do here. Go back to the 5. Inside of this 5 minute. So now it's just like, all right, we're gonna get a 1 minute change in the state. We don't. It's very ugly. We get a 30-second though. So
order filled.
Stop loss goes here. And I'll target the same area. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We get that 30-second right there. Got this inverse. I'm gonna tighten that up right there. We'll target that right there. So that's what this trade looks like. If we get a 1 minute and it's a bit cleaner, then that's what we get. Mind you, we're still inside of that macro. If we feel anything and we look like we're gonna hold, that's where you discern. That's where you see, all right, well, you know what? I'm not gonna hold if we're gonna sit inside of a gap and play. But if we're gonna like displace like that with equal highs and get lower, then again, it's up to you to decide. So now we pull back, I'll add a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. But if we displace, we're gone. We're out of there. We still got 8 more minutes in this macro. And again, not trading I'm trading small size. I didn't lose. I'm just trading small size to not make back my loss. No, to just trade to see like where's my opportunity. Well, we had this fair value gap, pulled back to the change, changed again on the 1 minute. Bro, I'm confident if we pull back anywhere inside of this, that there's a possibility to go lower. So mark that change in the state out. Closed. I want to see a pull back to it.
Order filled.
Sell 2. I'm going to keep my stop loss in the same spot above. I'm going to keep it above this 1 minute. Right above that 1 minute fair value gap. And from there, you just hold. And I'm targeting that first sell side. So I'm targeting that first sell side level, which I was earlier in the day. And to be like, look at that. That shit's clean. That shit's super clean. We don't take out sell side. We pull all the way back up to the change. SMT still holds. Now on ES, is it as clean? No. But that's where this plays catch up to now run this low, run that low, equal lows resting, sell side, and it's just in my eyes like I like this. So we're gonna look at the 1 minute on this chart, and we've made a fair value gap in favor. And this is where I like to just I want to see displacement. I don't want to see a lot of a hold. I don't want to see price being held by anything too much, meaning like it plays around and it's not going in my favor. Because if there's no reason to, then why are we? And this is the only reason we will right here. 2 minute, but we do have this 1 minute. So as soon as we take this low, I have to see what happens here. You know, I have to see what happens here to get the most risk in, but also what holds me to hold this trade. That's why I have to see what happens after this low gets taken. And do we displace through this low, or is it just a kind of like a tiny quick wick? Like this is how you have to trade. You know, you have to really be aware. Okay, where are we gonna displace, or are we gonna just tiny wick? Looks like tiny wick right now. So now this place is getting in the range and just going, you know? So let me hop on the 2 minute, see where that low is. It's right about there. Boom. Tighten up my risk. So now if I were to lose on this trade, then let's see. 2 minute. I'm gonna throw it right there, right above there. So 117. 3 minute. Let's clear this chart. Like, look, we open up a 3 minute, tapped inside of this 3 minute. Five minutes still left in this macro. 2 minute right there. Take that low. Gonna delete it. I know we took that low. Gonna move that 2 minute. There's no 5 minute. We got a 3 minute change in the state. Gonna remove that one right there. And from here, I just want to see us get a little bit lower. So 3 minute, it's bullish right there. And that's the only thing left to hold us. So if we get through that with that 3 minute change in the state, with sell side, and a sell side level down there, that leaves me confident. Like that leaves me just confident. Like I'm confident that we're gonna get lower. So if we don't, then what happens? We don't. And we take a small loss on that day with beautiful risk though. We're risking $117 to make $505. So, you know, you tell me. You tell me, are you okay with that? Like I know I'm okay with that. Like it does not get cleaner than that shit. It just doesn't. 3 minute change. Let's just show you. We change through that. We get back into the range. We tap this. Still got a couple more minutes left in the macro. Look where ES is. ES isn't being held by nothing, but we need to change on ES. Excuse me. And if we change on ES, like I'm not gonna delete this stuff on ES because we're inside of this 4 hour. You know, we're resting right at this. Let me jump to the 4 hour. We're inside of that 4 hour. Bearish SMT. And it just has to play catch up. That's all it is. So whether it wants to play catch up right now or it wants to do it later, again, just beautiful risk on the day. That's always what you gotta like know. Like, what are you risking? Like, is your risk okay? If my risk is in check, then I'm okay. And I think my risk is like fairly in check. Even if I leave it up there, which I will, just to leave this trade open, just to allow it. You know, I don't want to tighten it up too much, but just to allow that shit to be open and just valid. Pull back to this 3 minute one more time. we might not get back up into this 3 minute right here. And the reason is because sometimes if we are bearish, we're gonna leave traders out. So a lot of people will trade the fair value gap, that it pulls back in, pulls back up, and they enter. And that actually allows people to get nice fills, but imagine it never pulls back up because we're inside of it already, you know? We're already inside of a 5 minute one. So here to there. So just imagine, it might not always even allow you to get back in a trade, you know? And that's why it has to be quick. A lot of these things they're fast. One. I like the 3 minute that we opened up. And from here, we were seeing $121. 5 minute. Next 30 seconds, we'll open up a 5 minute. And then I will see if this is a volume imbalance. See, that's a volume imbalance. So I will leave it above. If there's no through volume imbalance in the 3, we're just going to keep the most tightest risk that we can, just for the fact that we're playing. We're going to keep tight risk $113. Macro's not officially ended, but it is in terms of 950 to 1010. So, but I always know that maybe a couple more minutes after 5, 10, even 15 minutes, that market still will be a little bit heavy towards price. So we opened up these fair value gaps in favor here. Let's do 30-second. It's not a 1 minute though. So now that we just know, okay, we're here. We're playing inside of this 3 minute. We've been. And I'm just gonna hold, Again, you can close early, and that will only cause max pain if it goes to your profit target. And it'll cause like unsureness in the trades that you take. Like, if I know this is the draw, why am I gonna close early just because I have a risk on the table and that I already lost? You don't do that to yourself. And just in terms that if we're gonna displace, we're gonna displace. And again, I'm giving sauce, like, just because the macro ended does not mean it's fully over. And you just have to find your own confidence in like what you're doing. So now stop loss can go to break even if you really wanted to, or stop loss can go above this gap, and now you could be in profit 143. I'm just showing y'all ways that, like, this loss could just be cut back on the day. It could be fully cut back on the day, but now displacing through that 3 minute, getting through that 3, that gives me just like all the confidence now to just know, like, okay, what's gonna hold us back? In my eyes, nothing, just besides a no news Monday and no news yet, like literally, and it's just less volatile. Holidays, everything. So from here, just jump down. I'm gonna watch this 30-second, see what we do. We play around in it, or if we just start ripping back all the way up, and I'll hold it according now. We are 73 points away. Wait. Nah, 18 points away. Read that horribly. 18 points away from TP. We got sell side resting on ES. Sell side resting still on NAS. This higher time frame SMT held. I'm aligning everything to now know, okay, word, well, what would be the reason? What would be the reason? That's it. Let me read it for y'all. SMT, we're inside of a 4-hour. Changed in the state on 5 minute, 15. We pulled back to the 15 minute, tapped inside this inverse, pulled back to a 5-minute change, displaced through the 1 minute again, and now we're back inside. We displaced, changed, pulled back. Now we're inside of this 1 minute again. And that's pretty much how I found my trade idea, my trade bias. And now, again, in my eyes, what's going to hold us? Nothing besides Monday. We're near the holidays. The price won't deliver as efficient. That's it. But is it delivering efficiently? Yes. So now I'll move take profit right there. Take profit will go right at this low. We'll move it up just a tiny bit. So now if we just displace and we dump, we're out of the trade. And that'll be it. So let's hop on the 1 minute, see what this looks like on ES. Because ES did take this low again. And that could send price higher. So look, we'll close.
Order filled.
So I'm gonna just end the video there, just to show y'all like what it really is like to be inside of the trader's mindset. You know, you'll never ever be able to be inside of it, but you can really watch and you can really understand. Today was just a raw, uncut video to show you what trades are like a day where price action isn't showing the strongest signs of where you want it to go, even if you know where it's gonna possibly go in favor and you have everything aligned, you know. And I'm just showing you guys the little things to do this, you know. How do you align your bias with actually taking a trade? How do you do these things? And I mean, if you're really watching these videos, I appreciate the hell out of y'all. And thank yourself. Like, thank yourself, because if you learn what the things and the terms that I'm using, you're gonna hear me use them every single day, every single video I show and I post, and I'm not afraid to show you guys what a losing day looks like. I trade according to what price is telling me and what I think could possibly happen. So I really don't care, you know, to end the day on a loss, because losing is just showing you what you could have done better. And today, just all it showed me is that, like, I'm confident and I understand that I do have a bias. I do understand where it's going. And if you look at those lines and you go look at your own chart, you'll see that where I thought the market was going to go, it actually came exactly there. And I'm not saying I'm a genie. I'm not saying I'm always right, because there is ways to still lose. Like, I just presented it to you guys. And I just love the fact that I can keep these videos as just honest as possible, because I do not care, you know. I don't care. No one's going to be able to judge me. There's only one man that can actually judge me, and that's Jesus himself, you know. No one else out there can judge me. No one else out there's opinion is valid about me. And it's just like, it just goes to show you that, like, trading is trading and you're in your own world. And you know, I'm gonna stay in my own world, and I love making these videos just to just show people, not about the money. I'm not here to tell you guys that, oh, I make money. No, I'm here to show you guys that you guys can do this too, and that this trading shit is for the best of the best people, because you have to become the best version of yourself. And that ultimately comes with a lot of things. But again, I'm just gonna cut the video there. Not stopping it short. Showed you guys exactly what I do, exactly how I live trade. And yeah, it's a longer video for sure, but the ones who do watch, trust me, you will be rewarded in the end. And again, I thank you guys, but ultimately thank yourself. Again, gratitude always lives. Stay present, stay positive. Until next time, guys.